In this video, we're going to learn about spousal RRSPs. What are spousal RRSPs? How are they different from normal RRSPs? And when does it make sense to use them? Spousal RRSPs offer you very similar benefits to normal RRSPs. Deposits get you a tax deduction, your money grows tax-free within the account until you withdraw it, and you can still participate in government programs like the Homebuyers Plan and the Lifelong Learning Plan, for example. So then what's really the difference between a spousal RRSP and a normal RRSP? To answer that question, we first need to understand what is an annuitant and what is a contributor. The annuitant is generally the spouse that's going to be withdrawing from the account in order to fund their retirement, whereas the contributor is the person that's going to be getting the tax deduction for the deposit. With a normal RRSP, the contributor and the annuitant are the same person. So as an example, I own an RRSP and I'll be withdrawing from the account when I retire. That makes me the annuitant. And any deposits made into the account are giving me the tax deduction. That makes me the contributor. But with the spousal RRSP, it's different. With the spousal RRSP, one spouse is the annuitant and the other spouse, normally the higher income earning spouse, is a contributor. So as an example, I own an RRSP and I'll be making withdrawals when I retire. I'm still the annuitant. But any deposits made into my spousal RRSP, I don't get the tax deduction for, my spouse does. That makes my spouse the contributor. The benefit that attracts most people to the spousal RRSP is that the higher income earner can benefit from the tax deduction. It also helps to equalize retirement income, and when you do start making withdrawals, the funds are taxed in the hands of the lower income earner, not the contributor. Now that isn't always the case, so you have to be very careful, so keep watching to learn a little bit more about that. And finally, if you're the contributor, even after you turn 71, you can continue to still deposit into the spousal RRSP and reap the benefit of the tax deduction. This is such a great benefit to a higher income earning spouse that might be above the age of depositing into their own RRSP. And that's because the year in which you turn 71, you must convert your RRSP to an annuity or a RIF. There's quite a bit of information surrounding this, so I've created another video that'll explain that in a little bit more detail for you. Now let's take a look at how a spousal RRSP can help a family. In this case, Tom makes $40,000 a year and he deposits $3,000 into his RRSP account. He will receive the tax deduction and save about $600 in taxes. His spouse Jane, however, makes $80,000. If they were to take that same $3,000 and make a deposit into a spousal RRSP for Tom, then Jane would get the tax deduction and save about $944 in taxes. That's a difference of about $350. Something to be careful with spousal RRSPs are your withdrawals. With a normal RRSP, anything you take out is added to your taxable income, and that's generally the case for a spousal RRSP as well. However, if a deposit was made the same year you're making a withdrawal, or any time during the 2 previous calendar years, then some, if not all of what you take out, will be added back to the contributor's taxable income, the higher income earning spouse. Let's take a look at why you have to be very careful when making withdrawals from spousal RRSPs. In this case, Jane contributes to her husband's spousal RRSP every year, but in 2018, he withdrew $5,000. Because Jane made a deposit in 2018 as well, and she also made deposits the 2 previous calendar years, Jane will now have to add the $5,000 to her taxable income for the 2018 tax year. This wraps up our video on spousal RRSPs. Be sure to check out my video on RRIFs to understand what happens with your RRSP account once you turn 71. If you have a request for a topic, let us know by commenting below, and if this is your first time to the Independent Dollar, click here so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching.